guys, this is Katie Lynn and
Connor Eller.
We're one now, most of you know, but we wanted to sit down, film a video that we thought was really important to us to share with y'all. So here we go.
Let's do it.
Okay, I think that we wanted to start off with a story that we thought was important, just kind of as a backstory.
Yeah.
Right? So this was how many weeks ago? Just a few weeks ago?
Probably like
maybe a month
probably
ago.
Like a month
actually.
ago, like close to a month ago. So we were driving into Sherwood, which is about, from us, is about 40-45 minutes away, and we were like, man, this drive is gonna stink, and we were kind of bummed out about it, but we had already committed to going that way, so we were like, well, let's use this time. We're about, how long were we into our marriage? About a month and a half?
A little over a month.
A little over a month, and so we were like, okay, let's just dream about our lives, like what we wanted to be like in the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and
so we just kind of talked about what we wanted our lives to look like, and we're like, okay, let's start at 25 or
yeah, or like we were like, yeah, let's start at 25, which is like coming up for me, but a couple years for her, and then we went to like 30, and then we went 35, 40, 50, 60, 70. I think we made it to like 70 or 80.
It was a long drive, so
yeah.
we definitely did.
Time.
And like we took time kind of at each year, you know, a few years or whatever, 5 years, 5 to 10 years, whatever we decided. And we really talked about, like, in detail, in depth, what we wanted our lives to look like, all the way from where we were living to what kind of jobs we would hold, to what our family would look like, to what our friendships would look like.
Yeah, like our community and our faith.
Yeah.
And just we like envisioned and dreamed about what we wanted our lives to look like.
And it was just really fun because it was almost like if this was our perfect life, then this is what it would look like. And we just talked back and forth, and like, I don't know, that's just, we're kind of those kind of people who just like that's something fun for us to do, which sounds crazy, but that's what we did.
Yeah, and it was cool, and like, I don't know, the drive went by really quick, and
yeah, and
we had a blast.
It's inspiring too. Like, it's good to have goals, and it's good to dream about what your future is gonna look like, and just talk as a couple, like what you want. Yeah.
It was really cool to do with Kate because, you know, we were married a little over a month, and it was new for us together. So
yes, and then the next day was a really hard day for us.
yeah, and so some of you may know through Katie, but I have played for the Toronto Blue Jays in their organization, and the day after we had planned, I got a phone call from the organization, and I was informed that I was released from them, so I'm no longer with them. And it just came at a time that was very, I guess, vulnerable to us, because the day before, like we just shared, we had just dreamed about and planned all these things, and it was, you know, shocking news and devastating to us, because, you know, moving into our marriage and our relationship, this is our plan, was to, you know, we thought this is where I would be with this organization, and then we planned and dreamed, and it's kind of like our lives got like flipped upside down. And so
tell us a little bit more about like that phone call, what you were feeling like in the moment, that kind of thing.
So it's just like basically, you know, I felt uneasy because in that moment you're kind of like, well, you know, I have this like idea what, you know, what was gonna happen in the spring. It's still like unknown where I'm gonna go like after spring training, but I had this idea, and then I get this phone call, and they're like, you know, this isn't the greatest news, like, and basically like there's just limited spots and limited room, and as you go up higher and higher, you know, it gets more congested, you know, the players and stuff. And so basically it's just very heartbreaking time because you know, you're being rejected basically, and being told that you know, you're not good enough by somebody, when in reality, just because you're not good enough told you're not good enough by them doesn't mean you're not good enough for someone else. It's just you're being rejected by this team that you've been with, you've grown with. You know, I've been with them for the past 3 years, and so, you know, made friends and made you know, friends who were in our wedding, and like a lot of good relationships were built and memories, and you know, just to like hear the words that basically, you know, you're not good enough, you're rejected. It was tough on me because I was just like, I don't know what to say or what to do after that, and just kind of like in a trance almost of I don't know what to do. And
I think too, we had never really like talked about like in depth until after, you know, after this. And we had never really talked about if baseball didn't work out, I guess, because we were so passionate about this dream with baseball. We feel like we're supposed to be here for a reason. You never talk about like what you're gonna do if it doesn't work out, because you know like that it is. Yeah. And when it gets hard, that's the kind of like mindset that you have to have, both like you like playing the sport and me like supporting you in it.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, shocking, heartbreaking. I think that it's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it for sure it is. It puts you in a vulnerable position because, like I said, you know, being rejected is never fun. It's embarrassing, and you know, when you want to tell people, it's hard because you're, like Katie said earlier, is you're reliving like, you know, the whole call again and the whole day over and over again, because you know you want to tell people individually and you want to give you know, people that you love, like you want to fill them in on your life, but it's just very difficult because you know you're sharing this and you're putting this burden on other people, and it's a hard thing to share one, and it's just tough to, you know, it's tough in a world where we try to put on a lot of our perfection out there, and then it's tough to say to tell you're ugly to stuff.
Yeah,
to people.
Like I think it's easy to be like, oh yeah, my husband plays professional baseball. Mm-hmm. It's like perfect and it's awesome, and we haven't really had a whole lot of stumbles, I guess, in our journey. Mm-hmm. Like it's been pretty ideal so far for us, of moving up each year and going to a different team and playing at a higher level, and being hopeful for that this next year. And I remember us, like, you know, being so distraught that the night that we got the phone call. Well, the next morning, I just remember like looking at you and being like, kind of us both looking at each other and being like, is this real? Mm-hmm. Kind of. And
it felt like it was like a dream.
And checked like,
bad dream.
Yeah, and I literally checked our phone log and I was like, yeah, like it happened. Yeah. And so that was just kind of the moment that it really did sink in, that we were going to have to fight for it if it was something that we wanted. Mm-hmm. And so we had gave it a few days, really praying about what our next few steps would look like. Right. And so I guess, do you want to talk about a little bit kind of our next few steps and what you want?
So our hearts were just like, you know, I always want to, you know, continue playing baseball, as long as it's fun and I'm able to do it. And you know, we talked about it in the next few days after, and we were just like, well, I mean, I feel like if I was to say, all right, I'll just quit, like I won't pursue anything else in that, then it would almost be like, you know, I gave up and I was like, okay, one organization, I'm like, all right, wash my hands with it, I'll be done. And I just didn't feel like that was my heart, and so I felt like I deserved to give myself like another chance. And so, you know, Katie and I have been, you know, we've been just kind of like brainstorming on different ways we can reach out to organizations or different leagues, different professional routes. And so I reached out to some buddies of mine who I knew, and I reached out to some people who had contacted me in the past that had some connections, and just kind of got an idea of what to do. And kind of just honestly, I asked people, I said, hey, I just need, you know, I'm in this unknown, unexpected situation, I just need someone to fight for me, like, will you help me? And as tough as that was to do, you know, it's worth it, because this is what I love, this is what we love. And
I think that too, the hard part is with people who maybe aren't in this baseball life that we're in, to understand, like, okay, maybe why is that so heartbreaking for y'all? And I think too, one, we feel like Jesus has so clearly placed us here, and has let Connor specifically use this platform to glorify him, to bring people closer to Jesus, and just a community, and build a community that's different than a community in baseball would typically look like. And so that's kind of our heart behind us, of why it was so hard and heartbreaking, because we really feel like baseball is a ministry for us. And it's where we've met some of, like Connor said earlier, some of our lifelong friends. We've made a lot of really, really good memories just in our past 3 years together, even not being married, and me just going to visit Connor in whatever team that he was on or whatever. We've met a lot of really good people in the organization and outside of it too. So it's like, it's our whole hearts. We feel like this is where we're supposed to be. And so when we were thinking, like, okay, what does our life look like next? Like, what do we do now? And we both were just talking about, like, we can't give this up, because we feel so passionate that it's God's plan for us, that if we were just like, okay, throw in the towel, like, let's just move on with our lives, then we really feel like we wouldn't have gave it all that we could have. And we know that Connor has just a lot of talent to offer still, and just a lot of passion for the game. So I think that that's why we don't want to give up yet.
Right. Yeah. So you know, we don't really know. There's a couple different options that I have in the spring, baseball wise, and we don't really know exactly what that'll look like for us in the spring. And our tentative plan is to be wherever I go, to Katie to come, you know. And we entered into our marriage knowing that this is what we wanted to do.
And it's cool, like, it's cool that God did that, because when we think about it, we're like, wow, like, how neat is it?
You know, we went into our marriage and we thought, oh, well, we might get to November, December, might get married. But then we decided, let's get married like right when I get home, you know.
And it was a really quick turnaround.
And it was yeah, because I was home for 2.5 weeks when we got married. But she made a really good point in that, you know, we were married for a month before I got released, and it's cool that when I got released, it was like we have each other, we have this newness of marriage that God has given us to be stronger together within Him. And so it's really cool that, you know,
that we feel like such a team.
Yeah, we could enter, we could just go through this hand in hand rather than prior to marriage, where we weren't quite one because we weren't married. We wouldn't have been married yet, but you know, God kind of just, he orchestrated the timing of it all so that we would have one another together, and I think that just gave each other confidence and comfort in that, to challenge that, or to go through that challenge together.
It just makes us feel like so much like stronger, that when Connor is weak, that I can be that stronger person, and the opposite.
Right.
But to both have each other during it was, and to be together physically too, like here, not just him being away and getting released, but being together, being able to go through it together, feel those same feelings together, and then like march forward. It's just something that I think is a positive way that we can look at it. And I think one of the pieces of advice that we were given was to stay persistent and to stay positive, because to look at it the other way would just be wrong. Right. And it would be harmful to us, and it would just, that'd be sad, like all the time. And so we're just trying to look at the positive when we don't know exactly what's coming next, not like we ever did with baseball. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we just wanted to update our friends and our family especially, and just to kind of hear our hearts, and to just be let in on our lately. That's what we like to call it, and to feel a part of what we're doing, because we definitely did put a lot out there with our future plans with baseball. And so we're happy to share our heartbreak, because it makes us more real to you, and hopefully it'll make us feel closer to you as well.
Yeah. So you know, we love all of y'all, and we're thankful that y'all choose to be on this journey with us together in prayer, and fighting for us as well.
And it shows that baseball is not always glamorous or easy, and everybody has their own struggle. And so
but we wouldn't have it any other way. So we know that the Lord is working in us, and through our work and our relationship, and he's building greater things out of it. So we're really excited, and
we're not finished yet.
We're not finished yet. So we love y'all, and
thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You'll see Connor on it a lot, I promise. And hopefully there will be lots of twists and turns and positive things to come.
Yep.
Bye guys.
See y'all.